Hey everyone, hopefully you're having a good day. My name's Andy. My channel's Finding Value. Today we'll go over the oil and natural gas technical analysis. I'll give you my financial opinion, and here we go. So this is crude oil. Again, we're getting a little bit of selling pressure here to the downside. The fundamentals look great for crude oil. Inventories are continuing to drop, but we're continuing to see selling pressure in the sector. So despite the fundamentals, we're still getting some selling pressure across the board. We're seeing that also in natural gas. Again, I don't see the buyer stepping in here yet. It does look like we could see some further downside or sideways action for a little bit. So that's crude oil and natural gas, both of those. XOP, yeah, you know me, is selling off. We've got another bearish engulfing. I still think that there's pressure to the downside that is in some of these companies. So I do think that we could potentially head a little bit lower here. And I'm seeing that across the board. These are bearish engulfing patterns that are developing today, which means we could see a little bit more selling pressure. I'm seeing it across the board. CDEV has it, SM has it, CWEGF has that bearish engulfing, where they usually indicate that we could potentially go lower. This momentum hasn't worked its way off yet. And we're going to probably bounce sideways or slightly lower over the very short term. And we're seeing that across everything. CPE has it. Athabasca Oil has that bearish engulfing. We're seeing some selling pressure in Reconnaissance Energy Africa. CPG has it. Northern Oil and Gas. And I can go on. And all these companies, they all have that bearish engulfing pattern. So it was indiscriminate selling across the sector. And all of these companies have that large bearish engulfing for the most part. This is up against resistance. This could head a little bit lower before heading higher for CRK. We're still seeing selling pressure across the board. The energy service companies also have that selling pressure. There's a bearish engulfing there. It pulled on back. And again, this will be in the short term. It doesn't mean that we have a massive sell-off, even though we could sell off quite a bit. It is possible. Maybe we only sell off to this support line. I don't know the future, guys, but when this pattern usually shows up, it is bearish in the short term. And we're seeing across the board, we're seeing selling pressure across the board here. Pump's got that kind of, large down candlesticks, small up candlesticks, where we could still potentially head lower. I need to see the buyer step in here and show me an indication that this is going to turn around. Here's Valaris. And they're all roughly the same, guys. I'm starting to see a little more selling pressure on the right-hand side here. Now, I'm sure you're wondering, well, the fundamentals are strong. That's true, but in the short term, sometimes the fundamentals don't matter. I know that seems weird, and that's where the opportunities exist in the markets, is when the markets become disconnected from the fundamentals. But I will say a lot of these companies have had some pretty incredible runs, and they probably need to pull back a little bit and shake out some of the retail people. And that's just what happens with a lot of these markets. MMA offshore getting a little bit more buying pressure there. NEX, we're getting a little bit of selling pressure, getting these bearish engulfing patterns. We might head a little bit lower in the short term for all these. They're all getting it. It's not just one or two. They're all exhibiting a little bit of selling pressure. OII right at resistance. It's trying to break, but it's not able to yet. Just kind of looking at all these patterns. HLX, we're still getting, that's a bearish piercing there, and we're pulling back. But this can reverse very quickly. I don't think that it's going to be forever. We've been selling off. Again, opportunities are born when the price diverges from the fundamentals. And right now, that's exactly what's happening across the sector. I know I didn't describe every single one, but we're getting bearish engulfings on all the exploration companies for the most part. Big reversal candlestick today. And we could see some further downside. It's possible, even though the fundamentals look fantastic. So that's what I'm seeing in the markets right now. Again, I'm just kind of holding on. I'm not really doing much of anything for buying anything in the market at this time. I want to see the buyer step in. I want to have them show up and say, hey, look, we're here, we're serious, and they throw down a fat reversal candlestick of some sort. That could happen at any time. I'm not saying that we're going to be in this for 6 months, although we could. It all depends. A lot of the people are scared in the markets. We've seen a pullback in the overall S&P 500, in the NASDAQ, and maybe this is the bear trap. This could be that bear trap that people are talking about in some of these sectors, where people sell off, the overall retail sector becomes, I'll call it, becomes depressed on the sector. They don't want to be in it. They think that there's no upside left in it. But the fundamentals are all there, guys, and the fundamentals are getting better and better with time. So short-term pain is likely to persist, and I want to see the buyer step in here and show me that they're going to try to reverse it. I have not seen that reversal yet in this sector of energy, service, and oil. I still own them. I haven't sold a single share, and I would be looking to accumulate whenever this bottom does come. And I'll let you guys know that on the Finding Value website, Platinum membership, I will describe exactly the companies I'm buying, what I'm buying, how much I'm buying. Well, I should say what I'm buying. I don't really disclose the dollar amounts or anything like that, but I do say which companies I'm overweight and all that. But right now, I still see selling pressure in oil and energy service companies on the short term. All right, guys, that's all I've got. We'll catch you next time. This is Finding Value.